You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodia-US relations began in 1950 at a time when the world was going through the Cold War crisis. This relationship has been seen as both bad and good from the beginning, but more recently, Cambodia and China have been getting closer, and the tensions between Cambodia and the US have become more apparent. However, during a meeting in Washington, D.C. on the 11th of May with more than 2,000 Cambodians living in the United States and Canada, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that relations between Cambodia and the United States have reached a historical peak in both diplomatic and trade relations. EAC News reporter Dashana Gochin has more.
Prime Minister Hun Sen believes that some of the issues and misunderstandings that Cambodia and the United States have with each other will be able to be resolved through mediation. He has previously affirmed that Cambodia wants to be friends with all countries in the world, including the United States. So the question then is, will Cambodia-US relations be able to improve? According to the president of the Institute of International Relations of the Royal Academy of Cambodia, Dr. Kin Phia, through examining the ASEAN-US summit, he believes the relationship between Cambodia and the United States was strengthened, but that pushing the relationship between the two countries to a higher level will require the goodwill of both countries. In his perspective, Cambodia has always generally shown a strong desire to build relations with the United States and other countries in the world. Cambodia has spent more than $720,000 on hiring American consulting firm Akin Gump Strauss Hauer and Feld LLP to lobby the United States to better understand Cambodia, especially regarding ongoing misunderstandings such as the issue of the Ream Naval Base. During a meeting with Akin Gump Representative Scott David Parvin in the United States on the morning of 12th May, Prime Minister Hun Sen urged the representative to lobby more about Cambodia to the United States. That same day, the Prime Minister also met with Michael Putrazello, a representative from the U.S. public relations firm Corvus Communications, to urge them to spread more truths about Cambodia to the world and to present a look at the kingdom that is not only from the side of the opposition media. Dr. Ir Sofal, an associate professor at Arizona State University and an expert in political science and international affairs, told EAC News via email that simply hiring a consulting firm could not improve Cambodia-US relations. He wrote, "Lobbying is a Washington, D.C. pastime. Everyone does it that has money to squander, from Saudi Arabia to Cambodia. Why the Prime Minister would waste his time to go talk to his own lobbyist must be because he has so much time to waste." However, in Dr. Kin Phia's perspective, hiring a lobbying company to help Cambodia-US relations is still a positive step, as it at least shows Cambodia's efforts to improve its relationship with the United States. In a meeting with Cambodian Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn on the sideline of the ASEAN-US Summit on 13th May, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also raised the issue of human rights and fundamental freedoms in Cambodia. He urged Cambodia to drop political charges and to allow opposition politicians to participate freely in the upcoming elections. He also reiterated U.S. concerns about how the construction of military facilities by the People's Republic of China at the Ream Naval Base could have a negative impact on regional security. In response, Cambodian Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn stated that Cambodia is fully committed to a process of inclusion and freedom of speech. He mentioned that elections in Cambodia are free, fair, and protect the rights and well-being of the people. As for the allegations against the Ream Naval Base, the Deputy Prime Minister said that Cambodia adheres to the constitution, which does not allow any foreign base or presence in Cambodia. He said, the renovation of the base serves solely to strengthen the Cambodian naval capacities, to protect its maritime integrity and combat crimes. For Dr. Irsupal, in order to build good relations with the United States, Cambodia does not need a lobbyist and rather needs to work on the real issues that the U.S. government has raised, such as Cambodia's ever-growing relationship with China and the state of democracy and human rights in the country. On the other hand, Dr. Kin Pia thinks that Cambodia has made every effort to respond to the United States, but what is important is the United States' willingness to increase good relations with Cambodia. Prime Minister Hun Sen explained why he believed the Cambodia-U.S. relationship had reached its peak by underlying how the U.S. Embassy is firmly established in the kingdom and by highlighting the growing economic and trade ties between the two countries.
ទំនាក់ទំនងរវាងកម្ពុជានិងអាមេរិកបានដើរដល់ចំណុចកំពូលដែលមិនធ្លាប់មានក្នុងប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រពិតមែនតែវាមានលេចដែកក៏ប៉ុន្តែសូមឲ្យសង្កេតលើបញ្ហាពីរមុនគេទី1មុនឆ្នាំ2000តើអាមេរិកមានស្ថានទូតផ្ទាល់ខ្លួននៅកម្ពុជាឬអត់ចម្លើយគឺអត់មានទេអាមេរិកជួលផ្ទះគេទៅនៅទេក្រោយឆ្នាំ2000ជាពិសេសក្រោយដំណាក់កាលដែលកម្ពុជារកឃើញសន្តិភាពពេញលេញអាមេរិកបានកសាងស្ថានទូតនៅកម្ពុជាទីតាំងស្ថានទូតនៅកម្ពុជាគឺជាទីតាំងល្អបំផុតប្រសិនបើមិនមែនជាអាមេរិកទេខ្ញុំអត់ផ្ដល់ឲ្យទេកន្លែងហ្នឹងព្រោះជាក្លឹបរបស់យុវជនឈិតវត្តភ្នំ100ទី2ក្នុងប្រវត្តិទំនាក់ទំនងពាណិជ្ជកម្មពេលនេះគឺជាពាណិជ្ជកម្មដែលធំបំផុតជាងទំហំពាណិជ្ជកម្មដែលនាំចូលមកអាមេរិកជាង 9,000 លានឥឡូវក្រុមហ៊ុនអាមេរិកកាន់តែច្រើនទៅស្រុកខ្មែរ
Darshana Gochan, EAC News.